Good day or good night to everyone in the world. Okay, welcome to an episode of The Kicks with your host, Dr. Dee Mahmood. All right, here today we have a very special guest. Okay, all right. I will tell you all his credentials and designations, and then will mention his name, and then we'll bring him up on air. Okay, all right. He is the Football Association of Singapore Council member, okay, an academy director at Liverpool International Academy Singapore, the vice chairman of Balestier Khalsa FC, which is the Singapore Premier League club, and then he's graduated with from FIFA Diploma in club management, and not only that, he's wearing many hats. And then we are very happy to welcome Mr. Darwin Jalil.
Hi,
There you
everybody.
go.
Thanks, Didi,
Yes.
for having me on this show.
Thank you very much for making time to be on this show, Darwin. I know. Personally, I know that you are very busy, man. I'm thinking like 24 hours is not enough for you, you know? All right. So
Definitely
I
not.
have to, yeah, definitely. I have to keep on reminding you to sleep and rest well, okay? All right. Okay. Now, Darwin, okay? Darwin, with all the caps that you wear, like, tell us about you. Who is Darwin?
Okay, so basically, I started before I go into football. Uh, Basically, I run a events management company that specializes in sports events, and also I've managed several sports venues here in Singapore prior to all this journey I have in football. And football is actually not my first love. My first love is actually rugby, and I still
Oh,
love the game so much. But just the landscape in Singapore sports, football is a professional sport. So I thought, since I have the special skill sets that allows me to manage football, I manage sports. So I decided to embark on a journey in football.
and how did you do it? I mean, when, which year was that? How old were you?
So basically, back in the day, being in the events industry, it was a very hectic industry. Weekends are our prime time. We always produce events during the weekend. So back in the day, what happened was I was running my events company, and then my friends from St Andrew School always tried to organize games over the weekend, and then we participated in what we call Sunday leagues. Just like a friendly league that we play. So back then in 2011, on actually 1st May of 2011, we actually decided to, my company sponsored the team and decided to start a team called Project Vaults FC, which is named after my company back in 2011. So it was actually a means to bring my staff to play together along with my childhood friends and schoolmates. And it's just like a Sunday get together for everybody to enjoy the game of football. So from that, it became a bit more competitive. We started to compete for the higher tiers of social football, and eventually end up in the highest tier. And then with nowhere else to go, we were thinking, what do we do next? Because we basically conquered Sunday football. So the next
Wow.
step was to go into amateur football, and that was when in 2015 I joined Eunos Crescent in the Singapore, back then called National Football League, NFL.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then what happened was, it was a very last minute thing. Eunos Crescent didn't have a team prior 2 weeks to kick off of the tournament, and I was
Oh,
back then
wow.
helping out Singapore Recreation Club. And
Mm.
so I decided to call all my friends and say, look, let's try to help Eunos Crescent. So within a very short, less than a year, we put a team together. In 2016, we were the champions of the first division, which is one division
Wow.
below the Pro League, which is the then called S League.
Mhm.
And I was a bit vocal at that point of time, because I felt that there were not a lot of resources being given to amateur football, and a lot of focus was on the S League back then. So during the FAS meetings and all that, I was a bit vocal, and I caught the attention of the people who were in the management. I mean,
Mhm.
the council back then. So when the FAS constitution changed in 2017, and then they called for the first ever FAS election. So I was asked if I wanted to stand together with the slate. So basically, together with the exco and three other council members. So I said okay, and eventually got on to the FAS Council elected for the 2017 election. And then at the end of that year, in December 2017, I actually joined Balestier Khalsa Football Club.
Wow. And how, I mean, within a short space of time, within a couple of years, I think you have charted, one success after another. What about Balestier? How were they back then as compared to today? The best person to answer that, isn't it?
Okay, so I'll be very frank. So when I first got the opportunity, I mean, the chairman, Mr. Tavanisan, approached me and asked me if I would like to be his deputy at the club. My first sentiment was, I've done Sunday football, I've conquered it. I've done amateur football, I've conquered it. And then the next step was to actually hope to go into professional football and then learn something about professional football. So apart from the finances of running a professional football club, which is of course at a higher level compared to running amateur or Sunday football league, I then realized that there were actually a lot of processes in professional football in Singapore that was not as I expected. So instead of expecting myself to come in here to learn, then I realized that I have to come here and establish a lot of processes, which funny enough was already being done in Sunday football and amateur football, but not done in professional football. So that was the start of the journey when I started to see things in a different perspective and realize that professional football actually needs a lot of help. And as you mentioned earlier, me going through the FIFA Diploma course, that was also the other reason where I felt that I needed to go outside of Singapore to learn how professional football is managed in all other parts of the world. So then I brought back all the learnings into Balestier Khalsa, and what you see Balestier as is today were actually baby steps that I took since 2018 to establish the various components of the club, be it from the performance perspective, from the fans engagement perspective. Even prior to the FIFA Diploma, we did it in very small ways, but of course through the context and also the perspective given learning from the Diploma, it helped me to heighten and expedite those processes.
Right. What's your vision?
So basically, I think it's a very known fact now in the past 12 months that Balestier is one of the oldest club in Asia. So for a club of such stature, my vision is to make Balestier a regionally known club that focuses a lot on youth development, where we would like to be a youth enabler, whether be it from the players to the coaches to the club staff. We would like to give opportunities to young people who wants to be keen to be involved in football to come here and learn from the club, and then eventually move on, whether going forward to bigger clubs or even going to the football association. It's a good breeding ground at the club where you actually learn a lot from the day to day when you're involved in the setup of the professional setup.
Even like when we are watching your match and all that, you have like match day experience, right? You want to tell
Yes.
the viewers about this?
So basically, previously when you back in the day when we were in Toa Payoh Stadium, there was
Yeah.
very little match day experience because there were no proper seats. You were sitting on concrete, and then the experience from entering the turnstile, which basically the gates, to the seats, there nothing much to shout out. So today at Bishan Stadium, we actually create an experiential journey for our fans. So it starts with getting F&B partners on board, which provides the sights, the sound, and the smell. So even before you walk to Bishan Stadium, you can smell the vade from afar, and you can hear music already playing. And even I get a lot of now for me, I actually stand at the foyer and welcome all our guests,
Yes.
VIP and non-VIP guests. So I get a lot of passerbys who come by and say, "Hey, what's going on inside the stadium?" There's still a lot of members of the public who doesn't know that there's a SPL game going on. So at least with the sights and sound that we provide, people become more aware and they approach us and ask what's going on. So eventually we look to convert those people into our fan base. But for those people who have been regularly here, I think it's a different experience coming to a Balestier game, because you then get everything you want as a football enthusiast, from food to merchandise to ticketing. And we are also work in progress on certain elements. We want to go fully digital on ticketing within the next 5 months. We are working on a few projects right now. So basically, you can skip the queue, secure your tickets even before you reach Bishan Stadium, and everything is going to be QR code based, scan and enter, and you can actually pre-purchase food and merchandise and just collect it at the stadium when you are here for our games. So these are our works that we want to continuously do to improve the experience of football, and also for VIP guests. What we have done is actually we utilize the space in the Bishan VIP lounge to create experiences like how I was treated when I go for my FIFA games, or I go for the Club World Cup, or even other European football matches or South American football matches. The hospitality is the key part that make me drawn to the game even before the match kickoff. The level of service, the level of experience, everybody know each other by name. So the warmth that we create at Balestier today, even in our VIP box, everybody knows everybody, and whenever we have new people, we introduce them, and eventually hope that they come for every game and be part of the family. Because I think creating an identity for the club is the basis of what we're trying to do here at Balestier Khalsa. So the identity that we are building is to be a community builder as a football club, whether our community partners are the regular fans or schools or even organizations like Walking Football. These are people that we want to enable and get them part of the experience.
Right, and I think we came together, Balestier Khalsa and Walking Football for Health, right? WAFA. We came together and then we become one big family, right? But maybe we would like to share with the viewers, right? Why Walking Football, right? Why Walking Football? Why Walking Football?
So basically, for Walking Football, when my head coach approached me and said, Dr. Didi spoke to him, and he says, and I did spend like 3 days looking up Walking Football. Although on the surface, there's just very brief. It's like Walking Football as an organization. Who are the people who gets involved? I saw interviews and clippings from media with Walking Football when they first established, and then I thought to myself that this is one aspect of football which is not being focused on, but there's a lot of synergy. Because first of all, it's still on the same basis, the format of play, even though it has different set of rules and all that, but it's something that I can engage a different spectrum of crowd that I can bring to my games, and also to get my players to understand that there's this other part of football which is in the market called Walking Football, because there are, football is a very short career, so some professional footballers have to retire early due to injuries and all that. It is also important to also create awareness for my players that this other aspect of football, that even if you're injured, you still can play the beautiful game. It's just a different version of it. So apart from that, I think there is a big opportunity to give a shout out to the masses out there in Singapore who loves the game, but of course have got no health, or does not have the opportunities to play football on an 11-a-side or the more physical 5-a-side. I think using professional football as tool to actually shout out and share with people that such football exists is actually a very good platform for the club. And and more than that is that, like I've shared on many platforms with you, we were actually sharing the same home in Toa Payoh Stadium, and I saw the activities, I saw the members that were there. So I thought that, if we can make a football club, a professional football club, a place to call home for Walking Football, it will be a good synergy for both organizations.
Yes, and I think all of us. I think right now we actually truly a family of footballers, basically, whether it's walking football or whether it's running football, and then we are
Yes.
talking about kids as young as 6 years old, all the way with the professional football in your club as well, and then all the way to about 76 years old and all that. So everyone is talking football. So it's very very
Yes.
exciting, and I think we are the first one over in this part of the world to come together in a synergy like this. I mean, we had Everton, right? Having that,
Mm-hmm.
Everton
Yeah.
and their walking football club. With them as well. So we are the
Yes.
first one. So we actually, created history in that sense, right? So it's all good. It's all
Lovely.
good,
Yeah.
and we are all very very excited. And again, okay, and if you have seen that we have been to all your Balestier Khalsa games and all that, and then
Thank you. Yes.
yeah, that we have actually registered to go to the Merdeka Stadium for the Sultan of Selangor Cup next week. And what we're gonna do, okay, viewers, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna share the link, okay, for those of you who has not registered, okay, don't miss out, okay, FOMO, okay, remember. Fear of missing out. Don't do that, okay? So you got to click on that link and then come with us, because what we are doing, okay, the walking footballers, the walking footballers, the Wafas, all right, and all our friends and families and all that, we have registered, and then we are going at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, all right, pick up over at Wisma Gelang Serai, the big car park over there, and then we're taking a bus all the way there, and then we're watching the match, and then screaming our hearts out and all that. I mean, if you can be there, it is great to be there. I mean, this is Merdeka Stadium. It's almost like, Malaysia Cup. We have not had Malaysia Cup for a long, long time, right? When was the last time, Darwin? Malaysia Cup, can you remember?
Malaysia Cup. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, as Singapore was 1994, as Lions 12, I think it was 2012 or 2013 was the
Mm-hmm.
last. I and more than just the main game, guys. There's two games actually on the day. The
Yep.
very first game features the legends. We've got the likes of Fandi Ahmad, Malik Awab, and also on Selangor side, Zana Abidin, Dato Suntinan. There's many iconic people who you have seen growing up in Malaysia Cup football that's going to play. And I think it's going to be a very interesting setting because it is held in the Merdeka Stadium. The Merdeka Stadium was founded one day before the independence of Malaysia on
Ooh, there
31st
you go.
August. It was just one day before, 1957, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very iconic because there's not any games been played there in recent years. It's just been refurbished, and now it's going to host this big celebration where basically the month of August is the independence of Singapore and also in
Mm,
Malaysia, and it's
yes.
like right in the middle of the two dates, and it's going to be filled with a lot of fun. I think for those of you who just looking also at the other aspect of the day, we've actually have the parachuters from the Selangor Police.
Oh,
We've got
wow.
also fireworks display, and we've got a concert presented by Dato Jamal Abdillah. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's gonna be a treat for football fans out there. People who knew these people back from those days. Is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that gives me goose pimples already, goosebumps already. I mean, this is going to be very exciting. I didn't know about the Jamal Abdillah concert, and then all the fireworks and everything. I mean, wow. Okay. Okay, we have got our seat on the bus. Okay, if you guys have not, okay, click on the link which I'm going to share along with this broadcast. Okay, guys. All right. And then another thing is that what about the what about the SPL selection team? Congratulations, our Peter Diru. Okay, head
Yes.
coach. Okay, we are so very proud of him, and then we are so very proud of the Balestier, players as well going over there. Our favorite, all the Balestier, the ones that last week they actually played with our hearts thumping out our body, coming in back again, and then coming out of the body.
Yeah.
That was one of the most exciting, that I've seen. What do you think, Darwin? What do you think?
But first of all, let me thank the organizers of the Sultan of Selangor Cup for picking Peter Diru as the head coach and myself as a team manager for the tournament. I think this actually ties back to what you just asked. I think this year the performance Balestier have put in is really very exciting for even for the neutrals, if you're just a regular fan of football, doesn't support any team specifically, you definitely get very high entertainment value coming to our games. It's
Yes.
very attacking, entertaining football, end-to-end action. It's very unpredictable. On good days, we take the lead. On some days, we concede. But no matter what, there's always a lot of goals and a lot of action when it comes to our games. That is also ties down to how we wanted to play as a team. We wanted to be an entertaining football team that participates in the league and give that kind of alternative uh, playing style to the league, because I think it's very apparent all over the world today that football is a lot about entertainment.
Yep.
People who are watching the EPL or the Bundesliga or the La Ligas, they all are seeking entertainment values. So even La Liga games at 3 a.m., people stay up to watch because of they want to catch the lights of back in the day, Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo's, and all that. So I think what Balestier want to offer is that kind of attraction, the kind of attractive, attacking, fast-flowing football. And so far, in the over a round that we've played, I think we've managed to impress a lot of people with the style of play that we put together.
Oh yeah, and I'm saying about like being an exciting game. I mean, it's really exciting. It's like like your tongue is in your throat kind of game. Very very. It's
Yeah, I mean
wow.
that's part and parcel of how we set up to be. So
Yeah.
sometimes things go our way, sometimes things doesn't. But for us, definitely not only just the last game, even on those games that we don't do very well, we lost certain games. But you can see in terms of the stats, we actually put up a good fight. It's just that sometimes technically some things just go south. But in football, nothing is guaranteed. Even biggest
Right.
teams lose, but
Yes.
at least we go down entertaining everybody.
Correct. Correct. What do you expect in Merdeka Stadium on the 17th? What do you expect?
Okay, so for us, I think we Peter has put together a very exciting team that that involves almost majority of the clubs in terms of players, and even if the players are not represented, we represent them at the backroom staff, so that we try to get almost every club involved. Um, I think with the dynamics, but Balestier has seen the Selangor team play during our preseason, so I think in terms of dynamics and in terms of competitiveness, we put a team together that can compete. And I think it's been quite a while also that the Singapore selection team has won. So this would be a very good opportunity for us to take the game to them and hopefully bring home the honors.
Wow. I mean, we can't wait. I'm just counting the days. It's just next Saturday. I can't wait for that. And I know, it's definitely from the history, right? We're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's gonna be very, very exciting. Now, coming back, okay, bringing you back into, you've been to FIFA. You have been at the highest level. In FIFA, I met with personalities, right? Who influences the soccer climate. So, who has shaped your ideas, in football? Who has shaped you in football?
So in football, I think prior to my experience at in the FIFA diploma, I've idolized people from afar. So I think there are a few people in terms of football ideology, people like Arsene Wenger, the former coach of Arsenal. I always felt that he had some very unique touch. If you've seen how Arsenal have actually invented players and converted players, even let's say for example Thierry Henry from a winger to a striker, and how they played players tactically, and also grooming and giving opportunities to young players to become world class athletes. I think it was something which I really admire from far. So when I had the opportunity to meet him in person, I think was it first in Doha in at the World Cup, or maybe the trip before that. Um, we had a very good conversation on how football youth development moving forward, and even at his age now, he can pick my mind and challenge me to think of a lot of things which I don't think of in my local landscape.
Wow.
So I think he's one of the people that it actually really gave me a lot of food for thought in every conversation that we had. I think thereafter we met at least 3-4 times, but every conversation It's something new. It's something engaging, and it's never the same topic to speak about. So that goes to show, actually, in the world of football, there are many areas, more than just the what you see on the field. It's about the administrative side of things. It's about the youth development side of things, coaching capability side of things, how you develop coaches, how you develop players, how you develop administrators, which I think is what is lacking in our landscape. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to actually learn from all these people. And of course, I hope and wish for many Singaporeans to go out there and learn from all these opportunities.
You've been to many places. You've met many people. Okay. If I were to ask you, what's your biggest takeaway points up to date? What will it be?
I think when I start to look at football, so basically when I first embarked my journey in football, first it was on a very technical or very administrative specific kind of management. Today, when I look at football on a larger scale, football truly can unite the world. It's a tool where not any other sport that can bring 100,000, 80,000, 55,000 people into one setting and to enjoy the game of football. And I think being at the world stage, whether be it at the Club World Cups or the World Cups or the Women World Cups, it is very apparent to me that football gives a lot of hope to a lot of people around the world who have never had this opportunity to perform at the highest level, or even more, be such an influential figure to the world stage. When we do our roles here in football in Singapore, because of the negative vibes that football brings in Singapore, we always think that we underplay the importance of football, and we also underplay the role of football that can actually be a very strong galvanizing tool to unify Singaporeans. And that is, in the time of trouble and the times of uncertainty, there's one activity that can take all the troubles away, at least for 90 minutes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. And remember the many years ago when we have the Malaysia Cup, right?
Yes.
We will come together, and we will know everyone's name, our players and all that, So
Yeah.
so again, like, do you think that this SPL selection team might be a rejuvenation, somehow towards that in the future? You think?
I think, you see, what other thing lacks in the game or the current landscape of SPL today or local football is the profiling of the players, and also the media role in making these players a bigger role model, and also a celebrity, by their own rights, in the world of football. Back in the day, when we talk about Malaysia Cup, when we talk about the rivalry between the states and all that, I think what actually made us remember a lot of the names these were actually our soldiers on the field to fight for the rivalry that we stand for, right? So
Yes.
today, the messaging of this is different. So, like a lot of people say, we miss Malaysia Cup, and I agree. I myself, as a young kid, been to the old Kallang Stadium. I even traveled to Shah Alam to watch the semi-finals and finals in '94. So I agree that the atmosphere is electric. I agree that it's something which we've been missing for a very long time. But what I feel is that we now, given that Singapore football is a own entity by itself, I think we can also do that for our local football. It's just
Yes.
about trying to find the right team to support and give our tribal allegiance to, and also eventually come and support the local players, because they are one of us. They are our fellow Singaporeans. They are doing their best. Unfortunately, things or the focuses on the game had slide over the past couple of years, but now we are trying to pick it up, and I think we are going very strongly in terms of putting the players out there. If you follow at least for Balestier, Khalsa, if you followed our social media, we bring our players to schools, make them known to all the kids. We bring them to your help with Parkinson Singapore, make them engage with the patients. we're trying to put a name to the face
Mm.
for our
Mm.
players and also for the football landscape. So
Yes.
the difference is, back in the day, it was probably more difficult to see Fandi Ahmad on the roadside rather than
Mm.
now you see probably my player Madu at the roadside. It's much
Yes.
more easier to see our local players around, and they want to reach out and they want to influence
Mm.
and be a positive influence to the society. So give them that chance, and I think we can. And that's also the reason why, over at Balestier, we partner so many other organizations, even like Boys Town, and
Mm.
to create that environment that is
Mm.
conducive for us to create hero stories behind these players.
Right, and I think you yourself a hero. I would say. I mean, because of the story that you shared once with me about why this special heart for Boys Town. Would you like to share us a little story, perhaps?
Okay, so I think those who are very close to me, or those who have been with me for a while, even my former staff and my former or my childhood friends, know that I don't have I had a very colorful past, and I was not shy to admit that I was a juvenile delinquent, and the personal experiences I've gone through with my own personal life at home led me to choose my friends over my family, and I end up on the streets. I end up getting involved in secret societies and all that, and which also gave me a stint at Boys Town,
Right.
through the judicial arrangements that was sanctioned on me. So
Mm.
back in the day when I was there, it actually gave me a lot of on the contrary, when people say, "Do you regret your past?" I think my past made me who I am today, and the
Yes.
people that I've met along my journey are people who played a very important role to actually motivate me to be continue to be different, continue to be a leader. Even though back in the day, leader in a wrong sense of the word, but I think the qualities in terms of the skill set of being leader was already back then. When I was on the streets, I was looking after my friends more than myself, looking after my group more than anything else, and putting them first. So when I had the opportunity to give it back to Boys Town for what they have given me, we decided to work with Boys Town here at Balestier Khalsa by giving opportunities to the young Singaporeans who are in the system, whether they are in residential or they are in the youth at risk programs at Boys Town, to be involved in football. Because I think most important, what worked for me was when I was given a hope, and I was
Mm.
given the assurance that I am not 100% beyond hope.
Mm.
I still can contribute, and at Boys Town and through the journey that I went through, I was given a lot of opportunities to give back and also contribute to community. And when I look
Mm.
back at the journey, I realized that the only way for me to help more people like myself who are the youth of today is to create opportunities for them to be involved in something that can keep them engaged and
Mm.
give them hope that there is another uh, route in life which they can take. And that's exactly what we did with our partnership with Boys Town here at Balestier Khalsa, because we get those youth at risk to be involved on our game day as ball boys, as marshals, as stadium extra hand with stadium security. We give them responsibilities so that they can reciprocate by learning to be responsible and learning to be responsible for their actions. Whether,
Mm.
of course, there are some. Not everything is a silver lining. Not everything goes smoothly, but these are incidences that help us and them to discover a better side of everybody. And I think
Right.
it's very important for us to give opportunities for everybody to correct their wrongs.
Yes, I think it's true. I mean, it's an amazing thing that you are carrying it forward. They said, right? I mean, sometimes I think we need. I think you're an idol basically. I mean, like from that state. And then you actually rise up above the ashes, they would say, right? So rise up all the way, and then to be who you are today. I mean, not only, I mean, your well-known name, not only in Singapore but over in, the world of football, FIFA, and all that. So you have made it, and not only that, you have not forgotten, all those people who need help and all that. And I think that's really, really wonderful. I mean, not many people would actually find the time to actually, take care of this demographics, But I think when you are doing that, I think you have touched many, many lives out there, especially the youth. Right, and then our youth is actually very important, a very important asset for Singapore, and not only Singapore, but the world, right? Yeah,
Right.
and to make it accessible, like you say, football accessible to them, and then being in a positive environment, being involved, in match day tournaments and all that, being of value, to the society and all that. I mean, that's how people come back. A lot of people think that, once I'm down, okay, who's going to care for me? They always, get the point, the finger pointing and say, oh, you did this, that's why you are like that, and right. So I think what you're doing is a great thing, Darwin. I mean, thank you so very much. That really touches me. I mean, when the first time I heard your story, and I think for the viewers, right, this is the first time Darwin is sharing this. Okay, so you get it live. Okay, live from us. Okay, exclusive on the Kicks. Okay, with myself and Darwin over here. Now, okay, before I want to highlight a little bit. Oh, I want to ask you this question. Well, if I ask you, okay, 3 words for the future Darwin. 3 words for the future Darwin.
This is a tough one. That's why I coughed. So I mean, given the energy that I put in over the past couple of years, I think the first word I got to choose is energize, and then second word is synergize, and then the third word is enable. So I think these 3 E's is very important for me moving forward, because as I move into a different older chapter of my life, now that I'm 40 now, I think I'm moving into more how we call it, take a back seat and let the younger ones do, even in football. I'm trying to get younger people involved, so I need to energize them. I need to synergize them, because synergy is very important, like what we do with WAFA or whether we do with any of the organization. I think the synergy is very important, and of course to enable. At the end of the day, only by giving opportunities and enabling the youth of tomorrow that we can have a brighter future. Because I think there's a lot of people say, Singapore football is beyond hope, Singapore sports is beyond
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
The very fact is that we need to let people who have the right vision and have the right skill set to lead, in football or even in sports generally. A lot of time where we are too, when I first come into football, I was told, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, it's not within the boundaries, we have never done this before, this is not the way we usually do things. And those people who have been with me in my journey in Balestier know I've broken every barrier. I've gotten myself into so much trouble before with the FA, with the clubs, but the fact was I wasn't trying to be a delinquent. I was trying to push the boundaries to the limits to get the best results out of my endeavors. Because at the end of the day, the main reason why things have not changed is because nobody wanted to push barriers and nobody wanted to try something new. So for us, I mean, for me and my team here at Balestier is to actually try different boundaries and see where we land ourselves. If you look at all the lanyards behind me, these are all the football events, football experiences, conferences that I've been to in the past, I don't know, 7-8 years. And that's a lot, because for me, going to learn, we need to go out. We need to
Yes.
look at what the world does. We need to look at what, I mean, a lot of people, when they talk about learning, they talk about learning from the better countries. There are actually things to learn from countries who are lesser than us. There are so many countries who are economically lesser, financially lesser, who have done things greater than what we have done. Like for example, the latest in Olympics. People talking about Saint Lucia achieving success, a medal in the Olympics, and people say, being a small country and all that. The most important battle we will lose is the day that we stop dreaming. As long as we
Right.
dream and we have the right courage to move forward, I think we always have a chance to do better in the world stage or even in the regional stage.
Right.
Yeah,
I think what you did was, you kickstarted the sparks, okay, for you to be a trailblazer. I think someone has to do it. Someone has to kickstart that spark. And not only that, you not only kickstart a spark, but you also, keep the fires burning, until today, and that's why you're a trailblazer. You know what I mean? Right. I think you
yeah,
set, you set a certain standards already, and I think many people will look up to you. I mean, especially when we talk about football, with the parents, the youth, the people playing football, and then the organization, the football clubs, and all that. So there's many things that I think from your experience, from your vast experience, that will come in very, very valuable, in shaping the football landscape of the future of Singapore, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
it's fantastic, and I would also like to take this opportunity, Darwin, to thank you for supporting us, for getting together with us, for making us your family. So now we have walking football and the running football family, and then we are very, very pleased that you are going to host us, on the 1st of September at Bishan Stadium. We are very, very excited for the WAFA International Land Cruise Walking Football Championship 2024. So we hope that everybody watching this, okay, will come into Bishan, okay, and then experience the eat the vade, experience the because we have international countries from all over the world coming in, and then that would be a walking football with a difference, with walking football for health, and thank you very much, Darwin, okay, for supporting us with that with that big football walking football championship, that's upcoming on the 1st of September, which is a Sunday, and yeah, everybody is welcome. It's public, okay, it's open to everybody. All right, bring everybody, and I'm sure, right, Darwin, all right, several of our favorite Balestier players will be there as well.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we will be there at different staggered timings
Uh-huh.
to make sure that we have coverage of different players throughout the day.
Yes. Yes.
So I think it'll be a very good moment to also touch base with the ground, to let
Yes.
our players now on the receiving end of the other spectrum. Usually when you come and support our games, you guys are cheering for us. So now
Yes.
it's for us to be in the stands to cheer for you guys, and I think it's
Yeah.
very exciting times. Like what I've shared with you in private. A lot of
Mhm.
these moments create memories, right? So for me, honestly, memories are redundant for personal collection. It's the lessons that we learn from these memories, and the key pointers that we got from these memories to share with others, so that it become a valuable lesson for everybody to benefit from. And that's exactly whether we help you organize these events, or whether be we invite you to games, or in every step of the way that we have interaction. I think there's a lot of memorable moments that we can take away from each other.
Yes, yes. I think since we started together and all that, I think the wafas, okay, we have mobilized the wafas to to be at your games, and then not only that, we have also purchased the Balestier Khalsa jerseys. Okay, they have come up with the three new jerseys, guys. Okay, the yellow one, the black one, and the white ones. Okay, and then
Mhm.
there's the colorful ones too. All right, and then I'm gonna wear that as well. So everybody get your Balestier jerseys. I think you this upcoming on the 11th, right? Yeah, I think
Yeah, this Sunday against
yeah, this
Tampines
Sunday.
Rovers. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
we've
So
got our this Sunday. We've got original body back in. We've got new range of merchandises up for sale. I think we've
wow.
just launched the pre-match kit, the Japanese looking one, and
Oh,
it's
is that
been
the
flying
blue
off
one?
the
Is not?
shelf. Yes,
Is
yes,
that
the
the
blue
blue one?
one.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All
And I
right,
think
all
over the
right.
past few days, the sales have been very overwhelming. I'm proud to say that we are easily definitely one of the highest sellers for merchandise in the league, with the
Wow.
range that we offer and also the quantity that we sell.
Wow, 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 wow. I mean, that's it. You see, I'm coming off this Kickstart show with a wow, wow, wow. I mean, fantastic. I mean, Darwin, you have shared so much, and I think what you have shared with us, I think there are very many, many learning points over there. And for us to listen to you and pick up those points and then use it, where we are going in our lives and all that. Not only in football, but also where we are going with our lives, and then what would you say to all the players, to all your players for this Sunday's match, and also the Premier League selection team that's going to Merdeka? But first, okay, Balestier, this week, what would you tell them?
I, for the squad for this weekend, I think we all know what it means for the fans for us to get a positive result. And I think even though we look at the table, people think we are mathematically far, but I think the hope is not all gone to be vying for the top two positions. It starts with this weekend, and I think I can speak on behalf of all the fans out there. They believe in you, and now it's time for you to believe in yourself and get the maximum result from this weekend's game. And for
Yes.
the team over at the SPL selection, I think it's very exciting times for us Singaporeans, or represent foreign players as well, representing the league. I think it's a good moment for us to go out there to show what Singapore Premier League is about. Uh, we of course want to garner a positive result and bring home glory, but most importantly, we shall go there and enjoy the experience. Not every time we get to play in front 20,000 over people and in such a fantastic setting with so many entertainment going on. I think it's going to be a fun-filled weekend for the fans and the players alike. Most importantly, we give our best, and let's hope that we come back with honors.
Right, fantastic, Darwin. I would like to thank you very much for spending time with us today on The Kicks. And I think there's many to learn from what you have gone through in life and all that. And I wish you all the best with Balestier Khalsa, with Project Vault, with Liverpool Academy, with many, many things. I think you're wearing so
Too
many
many in
hats.
the list.
Yeah, yeah, too many in the list. So, with everything that you're doing and your future ahead, we wish you all the best of luck. Our love to you, and keep on trailblazing. We love you that way. All right, and then so thank you very much, Darwin. Okay, and I will probably bring you again in our another episode of The Kicks. Okay, thank you very much, Darwin.
Thank you for having me, guys.